Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. This is Volta Insurance Solutions powered by Appulate. I will be one of your presenters today, Vanessa Dulier-Kamara, the Director of Customer Development at Appulate. I'm joined by Adam Myerson, the President of Volta Insurance Solutions.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
So before we get started here, I just want to quickly go over some webinar logistics. All attendees are muted due to the size of the webinar. However, we would like to hear from you. If you have questions, please type them in the GoToMeeting side panel in that question section as you have them. So we don't want you to forget about your questions. As you have a question, go ahead and type it in there and send it over to us. We will hold all questions until the Q&A session at the end of the meeting, just to make sure that we can get through everything as quickly as possible for everyone. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted to our YouTube page as well as our training section in Appulate by the end of the day. So if you need to access this again, it will be available to you. So before we take a deep dive into Volta's outstanding programs that are powered by Appulate, I'd like to take just a few moments to update you on Appulate. Appulate's network continues to grow rapidly. We now have over 30,000 agencies in network, making Appulate the place where agents, MGAs, and carriers do business digitally. Our commitment to you, the agent, is to empower you by expanding your markets, automating your workflow, and saving you time and money. A little more on expanding your markets. So for over a decade, agents have been using Appulate to streamline their submission process, and often agents would come to us looking for markets to place a part of their business. And it was then that we really realized there's more that we could be doing for our agents. So we decided to be a technology partner to these program administrators that are looking to automate their quoting process and deliver it to a large network of agents. So now Appulate hosts a real-time rate quote request-to-bind experience for several markets, including Volta, which means that you can get a quote or estimated premium or premium indication in just minutes. So how exactly do we automate the submission process? Well, it all starts with Uplink, which eliminates the need to rekey data. It bridges a core data from any agency management system or a core PDF and populates other forms, carrier portals, and the program administrator's smart questionnaires in Appulate. It also eliminates the need for your markets to rekey the information, making it a win-win. Now, Appulate is brought to you, the agent, at zero cost, as the carriers, the MGAs, the program admins, they cover the cost so that you can do business with them in an easier way. So not only is it free to use, but it can actually save you money as well. Based on a recent survey we conducted on retail agents, we found that agents are averaging about 40 submissions per month, and agents are saving about 37 minutes per submission using Appulate. This translates to an average of close to 1,500 minutes, or over 24 hours, saved per month with Appulate. In dollars, that's $593 per agent per month, or over $7,000 per year. Now, without further ado, I want to introduce you to Volta Insurance Solutions, which currently has its rate quote request-to-bind platform in Appulate. It is free to use, and it can produce an instant premium indication for you for workers' comp. In just a few minutes, we'll take you through a demo, but first I'd like to hand this over to Adam to tell you a little bit more about Volta.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for taking your time to come and visit with us today to learn a little bit about Volta Insurance Solutions. I am sure you will be pleasantly surprised at what we'll be able to offer you today. This is our mission statement, and you can feel free to read it if you'd like. However, as a wholesaler, Volta essentially is the first of our kind. We've opened up the old school bottleneck and removed all of the old roadblocks when it comes to dealing with wholesalers. Not only do we provide access to competitive insurance products, but with our technology platform, we can provide you with the tools you need to be efficient and prepared to provide quotes quickly for any of the lines of business that we offer. It is all about being prepared and having the appropriate technology in order to do your business in a quick and efficient fashion. So as far as the lines of business and what we specialize in, Volta Insurance Solutions specializes in the standard commercial lines, excess liability, work comp, general liability, property package, BOP, emerging lines, as well as excess and surplus lines for some states. As far as the carriers that we have currently on board, they are all admitted, AM Best rated A or better, all with competitive rates, all with quality products, and all with a broad acceptance. So our first line of business that we brought on to the Volta platform was excess liability. That is offered through TOPA Insurance Company for the states of California and Arizona. Some of the industry examples that we can offer quotes for are listed there on the screen: retail, warehousing, real estate, healthcare institutions, rental, wholesale, and restaurants, all with instant quoting capability. The next line of business that we have on board is workers' compensation. This is a very popular line of business, not only for Appulate, but also for Volta. The carrier that we have on board is Employers Insurance Company. The states that we offer this product in are the ones that you see listed on the page, as well as a new state, which is the state of New York. So not only are we in the entire Pacific Southwest, but we are now in all of the major states throughout the South and the East Coast, as well as the Midwest. And some of the industry examples that we will entertain are listed on the page as well. And the neat thing about Employers is that it has about an 80% acceptance rate with respect to class code. Now, as far as some of the business that we will not accept at this point is artisan contractors and in-home healthcare. Those are the two industries that unfortunately we cannot provide quotes for. But we are in the process of onboarding a new carrier for workers' compensation that will be able to provide us with quoting and policy capability for artisan contractors. So that will be available very soon. So we're very excited about that. So as far as our next products are concerned, we have a few on the in our sites. General liability is coming up for artisan contractors as well as standard GL. We're going to have a total of 2 bot programs. We are in the process right now of actually onboarding an in-home business niche bot program, which will be available very soon. And then we have another bot program that will be available as well, along with professional liability before the end of the year. And then Q1 2019, we have cannabis coming on, as well as another general liability program for you guys as well. So we're really excited about the number of products we're going to be able to offer our appointed producers. So what do we provide? Using Appulate, our front-end technology platform is comprised of automated data entry, real-time quoting, instant bind requests, and same-day turnaround for issued policies. So let me say that again. Real-time quoting and instant bind requests, as well as same-day turnaround for issued policies. So when it comes to you dealing with a traditional wholesaler, it can take 24, 48, 72, 4 days out just to get a quote. With us, the quotes are virtually instantaneous. And you no longer need to spend your own resources in developing your own platforms for additional automation. When you become an appointed producer with Volta, all of the automation is free, and it's available to you directly through Appulate. So we provide access to our competitive products with our A-rated admitted carriers for each line of business that we represent. And that, whether it's a standard line, whether it's an emergency line, an emerging line, or even a specialty or niche line, we will provide you with access to every product that we have in our arsenal. So at Volta, we're automating most of the manual processes, which increases efficiency and lowers your overhead. This lower operating cost gives us the flexibility to offer lower fees per policy than most of your other wholesalers, putting more money in your pocket. So in a nutshell, Volta offers a simplified user interface using Appulate's state-of-the-art platform. There's no haggling over guidelines or how long it takes to get a quote because it's instantaneous. We put the entire quoting process in your hands, and you can determine how quickly you want that quote. If you get a quote, that's the rate, and it can be bound. You have same-day turnaround on all the bound policies and more commission for you. Not only do we provide access to the competitive insurance products, but our technology platform provides automated front-end underwriting, instantaneous quoting capability, and bind requests, as I said, all at the click of a mouse. No underwriters to call or talk to or email or wait for. We remove the roadblocks and unnecessary points of contact for a seamless, streamlined approach. Smart efficient, and automated. And I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to pass it back on over to Vanessa so that she can give us a demonstration of our process. Vanessa, take it away.
Thank you, Adam. That was great. All right, so just as he mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and take us through a live demonstration. I'm going to do that by pulling up my completed Accord form here that I have in an Accord PDF. You may have this started in your agency management system, and if you do, you'll certainly want to start there. We don't want you to have to rekey any of this Accord data. So if you have your Accord data, or if you have your Accord form completed, start there, wherever you store it, and print it to the Appulate Uplink printer option. If you don't have access to Accord forms, Appulate is still for you. I'll show you towards the end of the demo how you can get started in Appulate. All right, so if you have your Accord form, choose the Appulate Uplink printer, click the print button, and next it will ask you to confirm Appulate's credentials. So go ahead and plug those in and click the send button. Appulate Uplink, if you don't have it installed, installs on your desktop in less than a minute. So it really is easy, and a lot of you probably already have that done with some of your other markets that you're using in Appulate, so no need to reinstall it or download it again. So here you'll just choose Workers' Comp and click Continue, and it will take you right into Appulate's Q&A section. So you see that it created the insured, Mia's Nail Salon, created the line of business, Workers' Comp, at the effective date. It took you right into our Q&A section, and for those of you that are familiar with Appulate, you may have noticed our new interface change. So instead of loading your markets, you get to select the markets that you want to work on for this particular submission. So of course, we'll select Volta. And you're going to notice that some of these icons on the right-hand side have changed. So instead of a blue arrow for submit and a couple of other icons that you may be used to seeing here under the action column, they now are buttons that say exactly what they mean. So that should help you move through this a lot more efficiently as well. All right, so we have Volta Insurance Solutions. Volta Insurance Solutions has two submarkets for employers, which Adam will get into in just a second. There is a letter indication that will help guide you through the submission process, letting you know what questions are missing and required. You'll have to answer those down below in the SMART questionnaire before clicking on the submit button. That will ensure that you can get your quote. And you have estimated premiums here that are instant. So as soon as I bridged over the Accord data, it populated these for me. And now Adam will tell you a little bit more about the submarkets and the estimated premiums that are appearing on my page here.
Thank you, Vanessa. The difference between the two of them a lot of the times has to do with acceptance. Sometimes you may see a rate for one and you won't see a rate for another. That basically is saying that this particular submarket will accept that class code or this particular risk. If you see both of them, my advice, of course, would always be to go for the one that has the lower estimated premium, because that one's going to provide you with the better rate. And if both of them are up there, both of them are acceptable, so you should be in good shape.
Thank you, Adam. So I'm going to go ahead and answer the missing and required questions. You'll notice that there are four main sections for this submission: subject, underwriting, coverage history, and policy. It looks like I'm missing one question under subject and two questions under policy before I can actually click on that submit button. So I'm just going to go through this and type them in. Up above in the letter indication, these are also live links. So if you're a little confused about where that question is, you can go ahead and click on it and it will take you directly to where that question needs to be answered in the SMART questionnaire. You can move through this by clicking the next button that will appear at the bottom of your page, so you can review all of the information that was bridged over here. You're able to make any edits or answer any additional questions, but what we're really looking for here is to make sure that you answer at the very minimum all of the required questions. So I can also just jump straight ahead to where that is missing in the SMART questionnaire if I needed to. And I can see that it has a red asterisk here next to the contact information. So I will type that in. Okay, so type that in. It looks like there's another question here in the policy info section. This is in regards to payment plan. There's a few options in the drop-down menu. Adam will speak a bit about that.
When it comes to the individual payment options, there's actually a fourth that has recently been made available for premiums in excess, I think, of about $15,000. And that is actually a 20% down. But in this case, you have these 4 payment options: 100% down, 30% down, 10% down, and 0% down. Now, each of them have their thresholds. In order to, the 100% down payment option is available to everybody. The 30% down payment option, or the quarterly payment plan, is available to policy premiums in excess of $1,000. Now, the 10% down monthly or 9 installment plan payment plan is also available to those policies that are in excess of $1,000. That is actually an edit we need to submit to Appulate to make a change, which they're very quick about getting that around. And then finally, the 0% down payment option is also available to those policies in excess of $1,000 as well. So keep those in mind when you're choosing your installment plan. But when you submit it to us, it just lets me know the one that you want. As soon as we get the official quote back to you, which will be very close, if not right on what your estimated premium is, we'll give you the lowest payment plan available.
Okay, great. Thank you, Adam. So as soon as I answer the last of the missing and required questions, you'll notice that the orange A and the orange submit button are now green, meaning that it's accepted and we can go ahead and submit. Once we submit, the status will change to say submitted. And Adam's going to talk to you a little bit now about, the turnaround time, the appointment process, and the request to bind after you've submitted. Adam?
So when it comes to submitting a risk, once it says submitted, I then get an email letting me know that you have submitted this for an official quote. As soon as I receive it, I immediately upload it to the employer's platform. They give me the quote within a couple of minutes, and then I'm able to get it back to you via email. If you want to bind that particular risk once you receive it, all you need to do is send me an email right back responding to that risk, letting me know that you'd like to bind that risk, and then you're going to have to provide me with the information that I would have requested from you, which would have been a signed copy of the quote and the California waivers or the deductible waivers, depending on what state that you're in as well. And that's pretty much it. Getting to go from a quote all the way to binding a policy for us takes no more than 5 minutes. It's a very quick process. Once again, you don't need to wait days in order to complete a piece of business with us. With Volta, it is almost in real time, if you want to put it like that. So, and then all of the billing, where that's concerned, is also done directly by the carrier. So it's all direct bill to make the process even easier. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Adam. It really is a quick process. I do want to show you quickly here how you can start directly in Appulate for those of you that don't have access to Accord Forms. You would go ahead and log into appulate.com, and on this very first page here, it's going to say add new customer prospect. Go ahead and click on that and type in all of the information that it's asking you for here on this first page about the insured, and click continue. On this next page here, it's going to ask you to choose the insurance line. Of course, we're going to go ahead and choose work comp for this one as well. Let's see, work comp, and click continue. And here it takes you to the Q&A section, which the process from here remains the same. You'll go in here and you'll make sure that Volta is selected. You'll answer the missing and required questions for Volta, and you'll click the submit button. So if you do not have access to Accord Forms, you can always start directly in Appulate. As an added bonus, all of the information that you fill out in the Q&A section will also populate Accord Forms for you, that you can access and export from Appulate if you need to here in our Forms section. If you do have Accord Forms, though, the best way to start is wherever you have those stored and just simply bridge over your Accord data so you don't have to rekey it. Now let's go into Setup, and then we'll go ahead and open it up for questions. So Setup, everyone that was invited to the webinar already has Appulate credentials. To log in, simply go to appulate.com, type in your credentials, and click on Sign In. If you don't remember your credentials or you feel like you've never received them, go ahead and click on Forgot Password, and you can reset them there very easily. If you were forwarded this invitation, if your agency does not have an Appulate account yet, you can always click on Sign Up Now, and it will take you through the very simple process where it asks you for your agency's information. You'll go ahead and create your Appulate account, and you become the Appulate account administrator for your agency, and you can add other users to your account. Before you go through this route, I certainly recommend you type in your credentials first, because you likely already have an Appulate account and perhaps just don't know your credentials. We have over 30,000 agencies nationwide in the Appulate platform. So chances are your agency already has an account, and you just need to get your credentials by clicking on this forgot password. So go ahead and sign into Appulate. You'll want to make sure that Volta is listed as one of your selected markets. So go to Markets and Selected. You should see Volta listed here. If they aren't listed, you can quickly add them by going to Markets and Available. Type in Volta Insurance Solutions and click the plus sign on the right-hand side to select Volta as your market. Then you'll want to make sure that you have Uplink downloaded. So go to Tools and Appulate Uplink. You'll go ahead and choose your management system from the drop-down menu. Again, what makes Appulate unique is that we work with any agency management system, so you don't have to worry about what version you're on even, or what you're going to switch to in the future. Appulate works with them all. Go ahead and select them from the drop-down menu, and if you don't see it listed, you can choose Other. Then click on the link to install. It'll install or download on your desktop in less than a minute. It will show up as one of your printer options. So if you go to print any document and you see the Appulate Uplink listed there along with your office printer or your home printer, for example, then you know that you have Uplink installed. Then you're good to go. So you have credentials. You're able to start bridging over Accord forms or log into Appulate and start getting your instant quotes from Volta. So at this time, I'd like to open it up for any questions. If you have any questions, please type them in the GoToMeeting side panel in the question section, and we will get to those now. While I take questions, I do want to leave Adam's contact information up on my screen. Feel free to jot that down if you think of any questions or want some more information from Adam after the webinar. Feel free to reach out to him. Here is his contact information.
And if I can, real quickly, if I can real quickly, there was one thing I definitely wanted to say. One of the things that we're definitely looking for right now is we're looking to get you guys appointed. We want you to be able to see our rates when you're doing your quotes in your system, and we want you to be able to issue those quotes without having to go through the appointment process at the time when you're actually needing to get a quote. So if we can get you appointed ahead of time, we would definitely like to do so. Whether you do it directly through the Appulate platform, or we can actually send you DocuSign information in order to do it as well. In either case, the getting appointed with us is extremely simple. There's just a little bit of information that we need to get from you. We have no minimum requirements with respect to production. Once again, all we're looking for is visibility. We're looking for you guys to just be able to see our rates and be able to quote our business effectively and efficiently. So we welcome any new appointments that we can offer.
Thank you, Adam. This first question is for you. Will Volta do monoline workers' comp?
Yes, absolutely. That's what we are doing right now. It is within the acceptability of our carrier, of course. And once again, right now, we have about an 80% acceptance rate when it comes to class codes within employers, which is actually quite fabulous. But also, we're bringing on another market for work comp, which is going to offer us artisan contractors. So it's going to fill that additional 10 to 15% void that we weren't able to offer business in. So we're very excited about that as well.
This next question, Adam, is also for you. Is employers' compensation the only carrier available for workers' comp? Sort of a follow-up to that last one.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is. We have employers' insurance companies, the only carrier that we have. But if you're wondering about competition, or if you're wondering about competitiveness with respect to the market, like I said, we do offer lower than average fees when it comes to our broker fees. If you're currently using employers through another avenue, another wholesaler, I would implore you to give us a shot at that same piece of business, because I'm sure you'll be extremely happy with not only the turnaround, but also the level of service that we can provide you.
Thank you, Adam. Another question for you. Minimum number of employees, minimum premiums.
Minimum premium. Let's see. The minimum number of employees is 1. The minimum premium for California, it's let's see, $720. I think is what it is. $725. Sorry, yes, it's $725. Now in other states like Texas, it goes as low as like 320 or 330, something like that. But in California, the minimum premium is around $700.
Another question here about class codes, if you will. Again, Adam, do you offer all kinds of class codes?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we do. And with each one of our new appointments, what we will be providing you is a class code acceptance list. Not only is this list available on our website, but it is also something that we are going to send to you, so you have a hard copy of it. So you'll be able to refer to it anytime you have a question as to whether or not we will be able to accept a piece of business.
Okay, the next question here is, how do I get started with Appulate? As I mentioned before, you likely already have an Appulate account, so it's just a matter of going to appulate.com and clicking on that forgot password link to reset your credentials, and make sure that Volta is selected as one of your markets. If you have Accord forms that you want to bridge over, you'll want to make sure that Uplink is installed on your desktop, and then you can go ahead and get started. If you have any questions or need any help submitting to Volta, you can contact Adam. His information is up on my screen, or you can email agentambassador@appulate.com, and someone from the Appulate team would be happy to get you started with Appulate if you need additional assistance. Thank you.
And if you have Appulate and Volta questions, I am more than qualified also to help you with your Appulate issues as well. So if you're looking to get appointed and you also need help with your Appulate account, I can definitely help you with that also.
Thank you, Adam. And the next question here is, do you need an agency management system to use Appulate? You do not. You can start directly in Appulate.
That's actually one of the beauties of doing business in this particular platform, is that you do not need an agency management system to use this system. Appulate, first of all, while you're entering the data, will create the Accord forms for you. So even if you didn't have Accord forms before, by the time you're done entering the information for the quote, you will have Accord forms by the time that you're done. So it definitely simplifies the process. And then on top of that, what makes using the interface so wonderful is that we've done our best to work with the carriers to minimize the number of contact points or information collection points or information that you need to actually input in order to get a quote. So just simply by doing it in Appulate, will simplify the amount, will reduce the amount of information that you actually need to provide.
Adam, it looks like we have quite a few people joining us from Florida. Let me try to group all of these Florida questions together. Is Volta in Florida? Besides workers' comp, what other lines do you write in Florida? And what is the minimum premium in Florida?
Let's see, as far as the minimum premium in Florida, I'm going to have to get back to you on that one. We do write in Florida. Let's see, there were 3 questions in there. It was minimum premium, whether or not we write in Florida. What was the third one?
And besides workers' comp, what other lines do you write in Florida?
Right now, in Florida, we do not offer any other lines of business in Florida yet. However, by the end of this year, which is within the next couple of months, we will have general liability for artisan contractors as well as standard general liability. We will have, we're in the process right now of onboarding 2 BOP programs. One is an in-home business niche, one is a standard BOP program, as well as professional liability. So if we get you appointed, you will have access to these lines of business very quickly.
Can I select Volta as my market even though it only says California?
It only says California? Yes, you can select it. If we show up as one of your if it shows up as Volta California inside of the market selection screen, do not worry about that. You can go ahead and select it. We are licensed in 14 states, including Florida, Texas, the entire Pacific Southwest, Illinois, New York, Ohio, Michigan, Massachusetts. So yeah, that is simply a nomenclature, just a change we need to make to the name of our market within Appulate. But don't let that dissuade you by any means.
All right, we got through all of those questions pretty quickly. Last call for any other questions.
And once again, please, if we definitely want to get you guys appointed if we can. So any inquiries regarding new appointments, feel free to give me a call. Write down the email address that's up there. I can also give you my personal email address if you'd like, and that is A like Apple, last name Meyerson, MEYERSON at voltainsurance.com. That's A Meyerson at voltainsurance.com. The info email address will work as well. However, if you want to email me directly, you can definitely do so, and that is my direct office line as well.
Awesome. One other question that has popped up here, Adam, will you do midterm rewrites?
Yes, we can. Absolutely. And we can do broker record changes, midterm rewrites. Yes.
And no prior work comp?
That is correct. We will do new ventures and no prior work comp. Like I said, the market that we represent is extremely competitive and quite lenient. The rates are great. It will be a fantastic experience, not only for you as the producer, but also for your insureds.
All right, it looks like we've gotten through all of the questions. On behalf of the entire Appulate team, I'd like to thank you all for your time today. I hope that this webinar was informative. I do strongly recommend that if you have any additional questions, please reach out to Adam. They're great, and you can get your quotes very quickly using Appulate to submit to Volta. Adam, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming online today. We're looking forward to getting you appointed, and we're looking forward to helping you out with any piece of business that comes your way.